We are live again, and we are joined by an extra special guest today. It is Nathan Ellington. How you doing, Nathan?
Good, thanks. All good
It's
down here.
it's been busy on deadline day already. We've seen Ben Godfrey complete his move to Everton. We've seen a lot of rumours with Arsenal. We've just seen Guendouzi on his way to Hertha Berlin. What team do you support, Nathan?
Man United.
Oh,
Not a good day for us yesterday.
well,
against Tottenham.
Simon, we've got a guest in. Don't even mention Man United, all right? We don't want him to leave this pod early, all right? He's just signed in. So what are you expecting? What are you expecting today from Man United then Nathan?
I expect them to make something happen, to be honest. They've got to bring in some new faces. They're crying out for it. We just look, I don't even know what the word to use for yesterday. We just look like we need some new fresh faces so they can get a new lease of life. And just some extra bodies that are better than what we've got as well, to actually push us up to the next level, get closer to the front running teams.
But what do you think it is that Man United need? Because their forward line looks good. The defensive frailties yesterday. What do you, as a Man United fan, feel that they actually need? Steve's just about to join.
I think we need structure, mate. The most important thing in that Man United team is structure, because I'm seeing other teams playing us off the park. I'm seeing other teams they're knowing exactly where they've got to be. And I know we've got better players than them, but yet we just don't have that structure going. And the way I look at it is, I think quite a few years ago, we brought in LVG, Louis van Gaal, and we were playing some great football, but we just didn't have the players that can do the damage in the final third of the pitch. So we had the right manager, but not the players yet. So then we got rid of the right manager, which I believed at the time. We end up bringing in Jose Mourinho, and then obviously they don't let him bring in the type of player, all the players that he wants in the end. And, there needed to be a lot of overhaul, and they didn't let him really do that. Then Solskjaer comes in, and I think he's brought in very good players. I like all the players that he's brought in, pretty much, most of them. But then he hasn't brought that philosophy with him. So at the moment, I'm looking at, hopefully he can bring someone in that can be a tactical manager, that can show them where to be within a certain structure. And then he continues doing his job. That's basically, however it gets done, that's what I want to see happen. And the structure is the main thing for me, because we got strikers. We've got strikers who can score 20 plus goals a season. We've got midfielders that everybody likes. I think we've got, even the defensive line, we need another centre back, I think. And I think we do need another left back to strengthen as well, just so we can get that quality. See, like the way people like Robertson get down the wing and they put it in first time. We don't have that on the left or the right. So I think we do need to have a bit of fluidity from the fullbacks getting up that field and putting balls in, especially if we're going to bring in the striker we're looking at bringing in right now. Obviously, we're going to need to give him some supply.
Yeah, it's looking like it's Edinson Cavani, and your left back, it looks like Alex Telles from Porto, who I think it was Jerome who dropped a stat the other day where he was contributed to 20 goals last season alone. So, I mean, it's definitely the kind of player that you'd be looking for to sort of supply balls for Edinson Cavani to score some goals for you.
We're going to need him. If we bring Edinson Cavani in, we're going to definitely need someone like that, because, like I said, we don't play that kind of football where you can just get in the box and be in there and wait for a ball to come. You can see how hard it is for Martial at the moment. He has to do something special. And that's something I noticed with the whole team, to be fair. We have to rely on something off the cuff special to get goals. I mean, that shouldn't be the case. We should be able to score bread and butter goals, and then you have the off-the-cuff goals as well to help you, just like the Liverpool and the City. That's what they do. We don't do that at the moment.
Yeah. Donny van de Beek, I mean, I see him play, and he looks class. Do you feel for him a bit that he's sort of maybe coming to a Man United midfield that's a little bit congested?
Definitely. They've brought in a player who plays in the same position as, I believe, Pogba and Bruno. They're the same positions as that, and I don't know if he's gonna have. What is it? Is he going to be able to? He's definitely. I think he should be playing in there right now because I think Pogba's not playing well. I think right now he should take him out and put Van der Beek in and let him play. And let's see what we do because I think you got Mata, Van der Beek. They're both on the same wavelength and they play a different type of football where they pass and they move and they can take advantage of things. I think we need a lot more of that in the team. And I don't know how he's going to do it because we do have a problem with balance of the right players to play at the same time. That's another thing we've got a problem with. So
it almost feels as well with United, they've got forwards playing in the wing positions as well. So I can totally understand why you're being linked with the likes of Jadon Sancho or Dembele who can play in them positions because it's more natural to them. It'll bring a bit more balance to the team. Do you think that would impact on the development of someone like Mason Greenwood? Because I know that's what they're slightly worried about that as well.
No, to be honest, there's so many games throughout a season. You're going to need to play. They're going to get their fair share of games anyway. Greenwood can play anywhere, even up top, left, right, or even in the number 10, which I've been told. I think Clayton Blackmore was mentioning that on Man Utd that he thinks his best position is even in the hole. So
really?
there's so many positions he can play, and there's always injuries throughout the seasons as well. So to be honest, I'd love to see Jadon Sancho come in, like you said, a person who actually plays in that position. That's his main position, and he's gonna create chances and score goals from there, which is exactly what we need. And again, there's this thing with Rashford. Everyone going on like. For me, everyone says he's, left side, but I still see him as like a forward. Yeah. I still see him being the best, like as the last man, pretty much like how Vardy plays. I'd like to see Rashford doing that more because he's so dangerous as the last man. But again, he's not like the hold-up type of player. So again, it's like, how do you bring him in and make it all mesh well? And that's the problem we've got. We've got too many players who kind of, they're fitting, they're just playing right now. And they're just making it happen. But it's all off the cuff. It's too much off the cuff. There's not enough structure there.
Yeah, that definitely does seem to be a problem. Steve, are you hearing anything of Man United bringing in anyone else?
Only the ones that you've already mentioned at the moment. Obviously, Alex Telles looks like it's definitely be done. I've just stabbed the corner of my eye. That looks to be pretty much done and dusted. Excellent signing for them there. He's got a bit of everything in it, and his goal scoring record ain't too shabby either. They just stuck up his stats on there. But good signing there. Sancho, it's going to be really interesting to see through the day to see what happens with him, and also Dembele. It's interesting to see what Nathan was saying about Marcus Rashford. I mean, I'd like to ask Nathan, do you feel they're trying to? We had a conversation yesterday just between friends that we feel that they're trying to play Rashford as a player he isn't, and they're trying to play him like as a Roberto Firmino type of player, and he's not that player, and they're not getting the best out of him. I mean, with Cavani coming in, is this good or bad news for Rashford? Is he someone who's now going to be put to the bench?
No, to be honest, I didn't see Rashford as a player kind of in the Firmino kind of position. I was more looking at him as him trying to, a lot of people kind of comparing him. They'd have to compare him to like a Mane now, wouldn't they? Or a Sterling, who's on the left side of the forwards. That's the kind of position they want to try and get him cutting in from there. But I just think he's better up the middle, to be honest. I can't see why. I don't think Cavani coming in is going to be a problem to his position. It's more Martial now, isn't it? Because that's the position that Martial's playing up front. Cavani will come in, he'll be up front, right in the middle. But that just means, again, you might see Martial going further out to the left again, where he did do a lot of damage. He did a lot of damage left of a free. If you don't make him come back and do so much defensive work like Jose Mourinho did, then obviously you'll see the best of Martial still. But it's just about getting it right. I don't know. They're going to have to try a few things out. But the good thing is they could all pretty much play along that front three anyway. So it doesn't matter which one. Whoever's playing the best, they should be playing. For example, I see, like just a few games ago, Rashford was the one who was most quiet. So he was one who maybe should sit down on the bench and then watch someone else. Just like right now, I think Pogba needs to come out, and I think Van der Beek needs to come in. Just because it's who's playing best at the time. It's not you're the better player or you cost the most. You should play all the time. Play the team that that suits, and that the team that's most in form. That's what I believe.
Do you think there's any worry with Man United and the situation with Paul Pogba and his contract situation? I mean, he has said that he wants to stay and he's looking to sign, but I mean, action speaks louder than words, and the longer and longer it takes to sign that contract, the more and more you're going to be thinking that he could possibly make that move to Real Madrid on a free at the end of the season, which would be a disaster for United.
Yeah, it would definitely be a disaster for him to go on a free, that's for sure. But to be fair, his performances of late have not been that great. So a lot of people might be like, look, if we can get something for him, then let him go. But it's a thing of if he wants to stay, he's obviously a player that got great quality, a lot of assists you can see, and he does bring something to the team. It's just how do you make that team balanced? That's the problem we got. And now we've got specialized players in that number 10 position. Van der Beek can play there, Bruno can play there, Mata can play there. It's like we now got enough players that if he did go, it wouldn't hurt us so much.
Yeah.
So that's another good thing. But again, we wouldn't like to see him go on a free. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Can I just ask? I haven't had a chance to ask a Manchester United fan this before. Sorry, Simon. How do you feel about the David Gea situation, Nathan? I mean, do you feel it's time to bring Dean Henderson in? His confidence seems to be a little bit shot. I mean, he's a fantastic goalkeeper. Don't get on his day, world class. But do you feel it's time that he should step back a little bit and bring the young man in?
No, I don't think so yet. Not yet. I think he's done enough throughout his career to warrant staying in right now. But this is it now. Henderson's back now. So he's now sitting there behind him, and he knows he's got to be on his toes. Yeah. If he starts making the same mistakes again, he knows he will be out the team, and then it will give Dean Henderson a chance to come in. But for now, I would say you stick with De Gea. He is the senior of the two, and he's still one of the best keepers around. You see the mistakes that are happening are lapses of concentration. They're not him getting old and he would normally save that on the day. It's not like that. It's like little mistake. It's not great to have them either, because it means that why is your lapse of why are you having that? But at the same time, he's done well. This season he started off. He's not been, you're not looked at him and gone, what are you doing? Not yet. So hopefully that's the thing of the past of last year. Hopefully the mistakes will be to a minimum. So for me, yeah, definitely keep him in for now.
Yeah.
Simon, was you asking a question, sir?
Yeah. I was just going to say, honestly, Nathan, if I asked you, do you think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer could bring you a Premier League title or a Champions League trophy? Because I believe Arteta, with what I've seen, with bang average players, because we're playing at the minute with no midfield, and we're getting wins. And it's not down to Aubameyang. It's down to Pepe, Nketiah, Ceballos, Gabriel, who we've brought in, stepping up and doing something on the pitch. Even Mohamed El Neni, as much as I don't rate him, is doing something in midfield more than what Granit Xhaka does. I believe if Arteta had your squad now, he would win the Premier League this season. 100%. I just think with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he's the one that's holding you back. And I know he's a club legend and 20 and all that. But honestly, as soon as Ole goes and you get a proper manager in, you'll do stuff, because it's his tactics. He's trying to play out from the back because he's seeing Arsenal do it, he's seeing Liverpool do it, he's seeing City do it. Everton have started doing it under Ancelotti, and they cannot do it. And it was like bread and butter for Tottenham. They literally just went, these lot can't do it. You watch Tottenham play out from the back, and they're doing it like this. That's because Mourinho's used to that. But I just don't believe that with Man United's team that they've got Bruno, Van der Beek, Pogba, Matic, McTominay. That's just your midfield. And then you've got, obviously, Maguire And then you've got Shaw, you've got Tallis that's coming in, you've got Edinson Cavani, you've got Martial, Rashford, Greenwood. I'm sorry, but that should be top of the league right now with 4 wins out of 4. I just think it's Solskjaer. He's not got the tactics whatsoever.
Well, there's the thing what I was thinking about. I've been thinking about this for a while now. I got to break it down in a kind of systematic way to explain the way I'm thinking. Now, you've got managers who they just buy players and then they just expect them to go out there and do a job and do well. Then you've got managers who are very good tacticians. They might not even have the eye to bring in the right players that can get them to that level. So, but what you've got with Solskjaer, he's got the eye for bringing in the good players, yet he doesn't have what you just mentioned there that Arteta has, what Leeds have, what City have now, what Liverpool have with their managers. They all have a way of playing, a structure that they've got to work within. And then once you get into certain positions, you go and do your thing. That's what's missing from United massively. And I understand you 100%. I agree with you that Arteta would get much more out of this team. So would Pochettino, so would these guys. But the thing is, I'm not going to slate Solskjaer because he's got something they don't have. And they don't have the eye for bringing in them players that are that good. You look at Pochettino at Tottenham, for all the good play they had, they didn't win the league. They didn't win it. They didn't bring in those top players because he couldn't bring them in. He didn't get the right players in. But Solskjaer's got that side, yet he doesn't have the other side. Now, my thing is there a way you can bring in a coach that can put that in? As if you can't. Yeah, if you can, great. Because I'm sure managers have done that in the past. I'm sure Mourinho had some kind of coach in there, specialist for certain things. You had Alex Ferguson, you had Queiroz, I think. Yeah. I'm sure they had their other guys who they could bring in to make that happen. And if Solskjaer can do that, then I think that they can get to the top. But if he is going to try and do it all on his own, where this is the level we're going to be at, we're not going to get any further. We will never get to the Premiership title again if he's not going to bring someone in. Simple as that.
Again, I think it boils down to it's not just the balance on the pitch; it's the balance off the pitch as well. Solskjaer needs that balance. Ferguson was a legend of a manager, but he always had number 2, which gave him that balance as well. It's all about balance. Arsene Wenger very much did it on his own. You've got all these other managers that have number 2s. But like I fully agree. What Solskjaer might not have with that, look at the players that he's brought in. Bruno Fernandes, Donny van de Beek, these Aaron Wan-Bissaka. These are all quality players. Man United need that balance. They need an out-and-out winger, a specialist in that position, not just a forward who can play on that. But the stopgap, I think, seems to be Woodward at the top. Whether he's got the right man with him, a sporting director that could potentially get these deals over the line a lot quicker. This Jadon Sancho deal seems to be going on forever. Will that one get over the line as well? Who knows?
Here's the thing that I wanted to mention. I've had some people mentioning different ways that this could make United better. They're saying, why doesn't Solskjaer become a director of football where he decides who comes in? Then you get a manager who actually does what they do on the pitch, like Leeds are doing right now. They're playing some amazing football. I didn't know they were that good. Watching them thinking, wow, you guys are bringing it to Liverpool and bringing it to City. Like they're killing people. And they don't have any big names, to look at and go, everyone knows who these players are. Why can that manager bring that much out of their team? And we all knew that about Klopp when he was at Dortmund. He was killing it with them and he was bringing in the right players, and he also had the tactics to bring in as well. Yeah. So again, it's like there's different ways of doing it, but it's just got to be done. However it's done, it's got to be done. You've got to bring in someone who knows how to put them tactics into the team. Otherwise, you're going to have problems like we had yesterday and we've had all the time. So what we have is someone going, Bailly shouldn't play because he gave the ball away. The reason why he gave the ball away is because they told him to pass the ball out from the back and they don't have a structure of how to do that. Yeah. So then you had the other day, you had Pogba losing the ball edge of the box. The other day, you had Maguire losing the ball in the box against Man City. You have Matic losing the ball in there. These guys are not bad players. They just not got the structure of what to do. So sometimes they have no options. They're looking up for who there is, and there's no one there because they don't know where to be.
Yeah, I mean,
the goal. Sorry, it's like we experienced with Unai Emery away to Watford when we had like 31 shots against us in that game. You could see that Socrates, David Luiz weren't very comfortable at playing out from the back. They hated it, and every time they were looking at Leno, they were just saying this: just hoof it because we're going to concede. And this is what Emery tried to do. He tried to coach players that are not good at playing out from the back and trying to go, I can do this. I can turn Socrates into a ball-playing centre-back. He's not that. He's not that at all. He's the centre-back that sits there, and when you're coming at him, he'll deal with you all day long. He'll run you down the line. He'll run you down the other line. He'll come at you basically. He'll put his foot in. He'll just hoof the ball. That's not what Emery wanted. Emery wanted Leno to give it out, to pass it out, and always can't do that.
And that's the thing. You could tell with the goal that United conceded yesterday. Bailly had the ball, and it was almost as if he didn't know where to pass that to. I'm thinking pass it out to Wan-Bissaka in my head. That's a clear open space. But it's almost as if he's giving instructions to not do that. Maybe get it more centrally, so he has to move there. It seems like they didn't have the game plan, but they wanted to then play it out the back still. It's about having the right players to do that as well.
The main thing is, like I said before about LVG, he made players that were just, we didn't have that many players that were anything special at the time, but we had like 80% possession every game because they knew where to be, what to do. But it feels like watching it, it looks like they have a freeness to do anything. Like they just get told, go out there and play. This is your team. It's like Championship Manager where you just have the team on there and the bench, and that's who's starting, and you just get on with it. Because I'm looking at it going, why is everyone taking 4 and 5 touches? Why is everyone just looking up, getting the ball, then looking around going, who's there to pass the ball to? And then they pass it, then they take 4 touches and go, okay, you take it. And then someone else stands on it. And then, you got Rashford standing on it, waiting to see what's happening. Everyone's just looking. It's like off the cuff football, all of it. Yeah. There's no, you get the ball, he's running around me. Look at Sevilla. Sevilla, we played them semi-finals. Yeah. They totally wiped the floor with us because they have a way of playing. You've got even, what's his name? Jesus Navas running right, looking like the best thing since sliced bread. When, how many years ago was he at City struggling? Yeah. Now he's overlapping, getting crosses in for fun. They're switching balls here and there. Balls. If the ball gets congested there, you guys over there, I want you on the touchline. I want you finding him. Then you overlap and then get a cross in. You can see that that's what they've been told to do. United, they just look like they're not been told to do anything.
I don't know who's your captain though as well. I don't know if you've got a leader. I know you've got Maguire, you've got Pogba, but Pogba yesterday, as soon as you went down to 10 men, he gave up. Yeah, he tried a few passes, but then he never closed down. He just walked in the middle of the pitch. When they made it 5, he fell asleep when Serge Aurier, he's looking right at him. Surely he can see Serge Aurier flying past him, and he's like, just not interested.
Everyone's their heads went yesterday, and it's not usually like Man United to do that, but everyone has them games. I think everyone's been in them situations right now.
It's the $20 million question, but what's needed? Is it, like you said, is it a good number 2 for next to Solskjaer? Is it someone else behind the scenes doing the deals? And the rumours that we're hearing on the pitch of signings that might happen today, are they in the right places? Or what do you think? What is the $20 million question?
Well, I think where we were before Solskjaer came in, I was close to not watching United ever again. The kind of football we were playing was that bad. And the players we had, the balance we had absolutely no balance. Then what happened? Solskjaer came in and he brought back the feel-good factor. But not only that, There's many things that had to be done in order to get to this position. So the season start. We've obviously brought in the right players so far. Overall, I'd say he's done a great job in bringing in players. We had a massive problem last season with the major players being injured. So it was no surprise that we were where we were last year. So Solskjaer did a great job to get third with major injuries. Because end of the day, if Liverpool lost Van Dijk and Mane through most of the season, they'd be finished. They won't be top of the league. If City did the same, that's why City are where they are. They lost their centre back. They lost their centre back, and they haven't even replaced and brought in another commanding centre back. That's why they're where they're at. So any team who loses their main players gonna have a problem. That's that side of it. Now we're bringing in the right kind of players. Now, the only thing, like we said, we're missing is that structure and that way of playing to now take us to that next level. We've done Solskjaer's done a lot of these good things, but he just now needs a number 2, or he becomes a DOF and he brings in a person who can do that. One or the other, that's all I can see that will take us to the next level, because he's doing a great job in bringing in players. I don't want to say negative things about him, but one thing that obviously is clear what I'm saying is there is no way of playing football. It's not clear how we're playing.
Yeah,
I think Man United should not go for Sancho, right? And you should put all your concentration into Benfica's number 2, basically, because he's the one that does all the tactics. It's not the manager. The manager just puts the players out there, but it's their number 2. I can't remember his name. If someone wants to research it, he's a diamond, absolute diamond. Jurgen Klopp wanted him. Pep Guardiola wanted him to replace Mikel Arteta. And basically, he goes on the training pitch and he tells every player, this is what I want you to do, this is what I want you to do. So then basically, he does all the work. And then basically, all he has to do is just basically keep the morale up, keep getting the players that you want. Because the players you brought in are not a problem for you. That's why I'm saying you should be up there. It's just your tactics for me. That's all it is. So if he comes in from Benfica, honestly, you will win this league. That's how certain I am. Honestly.
One thing you did say is that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has galvanised the squad and brought them together, which he has done. So, I mean, it's going to be a tough league. I can't see Man United not bringing in at least one winger today. It'll be definitely something to be keeping an eye on.
There's one other thing I mentioned. Just another thing about players coming in, like, we're linked to the players that always want to, like we're thinking, who can you really bring in? The top target at the back, Upamecano. For me, a youngster coming up, doing really well. Upamecano, if that's true that we were in for him, but obviously he's not going to come this year, that's a great buy to make our defense even better. That's one player who I want. Obviously, Koulibaly a bit too old to pay that much money for, but the next person in line is Upamecano. So if we can get someone like that, again, it's great names we're being linked to, and we're trying to get. So I'm really happy about that side of things.
Yeah, well, Upamecano at the end of next season, his minimum release clause is there, so it's a deal that could be done straight away. I think it's 52 million. I think they want for him, so it's an easy deal to do for Man United. He's one of the biggest up and coming names in European football. So I mean, if you can get that one over the line, he's a monster of a player. Could play out the back as well, gets forward, strong, bullies players. That'd be a great signing. Great signing. Nathan, thank you very much for joining us today. We'd love to have you back anytime you wanted to come on, speak about Man United, whatever you want. Again, thank you very much for coming on today, man.
Thanks. That's my forte. Man United, pretty much. I'm a supporter of United since I was 5, so that's why I've got such a liking and an interest to watching and everything that they do.
No. You speak about it with passion, man. You speak about it with passion, so that's good. That's good. We love that.
Great. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
I would just have a question. I just want to ask Man United fans. I didn't want to say Solskjaer's crap and all this. I'm not that sort of person. I just wanted to ask the questions to a Man United fan to get their perspective on it.
Cool. Thanks for that, Nathan. Take care, man.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, man.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.
Cheers, lad.
All right. That's Nathan Ellington.
Brilliant,
Fulmer,
absolutely brilliant.
Fulmer,
That's brilliant.
Bristol Rovers, Wigan, West Brom, Watford, Preston, Ipswich, Southport, and Crewe Alexandra. Premier League player, Nathan Ellington. Thank you very much for coming on today. Guys, we're going to take a break. We're going to update the Twitter, keep you posted on any outgoings and incomings this season or in this transfer window. Transfer deadline day is just about started. So we're going to be here with you all day long. Peace out. Stay safe.